right, welcome back, everyone, to your weekly gaming news fix.
Yeah, we've got quite the stack this week.
We definitely do. You send over a ton of articles, and we've dug through them to pull out the most interesting bits.
The stuff worth talking about.
Exactly. So today we're going to touch on a director getting real about a movie adaptation, a pretty grim incident after a movie screening.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Some console price shifts, the ongoing battle against cheaters, a really cool retro find from Nintendo's past.
Oh, I saw that one. Very neat.
Big updates on Mario Kart World, some interesting skins for Marvel Rivals.
Swimsuits.
That's the one. Plus, Among Us going 3D soon, and a look at what's next for Frostpunk and Star Wars games.
Quite a packed agenda.
It is. So, let's jump right in.
Okay, first up, the Borderlands movie. Director Eli Roth has been, well, pretty blunt about why he feels it didn't quite work out.
Yeah, blaming COVID, right. Said doing prep over Zoom was tough.
Exactly. That and handing over the reshoots to Tim Miller.
Yeah.
He paints this picture of a project that kind of got away from his original vision.
It's pretty rare to hear a director be that open about things going sideways, isn't it?
It really is. Almost sounds like he wasn't even sure what the final movie would look like himself.
But here's the twist. Even though Roth called it a disaster, Strauss-Zelnick over at Take-Two, he thinks the disappointing film might have actually drummed up more interest in the games.
Seriously, that's unexpected.
Right. And they've got Borderlands 4 coming in September. It kind of makes you wonder, can a movie flop actually, help the game?
That's a fascinating take. Goes against the grain, you know. Usually you think a bad adaptation hurts the brand.
Totally.
But maybe, just maybe, even bad publicity put the Borderlands name out there to a new audience who then thought, maybe the games are better.
Could be. Stranger things have happened. It shows that whole media ecosystem is complicated.
Definitely. Okay, shifting gears now, unfortunately, to something much more serious.
Yeah, this was tough to read about. The incident after the Minecraft movie screening.
In Rhode Island, right. A late-night showing, apparently an argument started because some teenagers were being noisy.
And it ended with 2 adults being stabbed. Just awful. Police arrested 4 teenagers.
It's just, yeah, awful is the word. A really stark reminder that this kind of violence can erupt anywhere, even leaving a movie theater.
And the irony, wasn't Jack Black just talking about being polite in cinemas?
He was. It's such a contrast. It really hammers home, basic respect in public spaces. It seems so simple.
You'd think so. You just want to go see a movie, relax,
not
worry about something like this. Okay, let's move to the industry side, some business news.
Right, Sony Interactive Entertainment, they're bumping up the price for the PlayStation 5 digital edition.
Why is this happening?
In Europe and the UK. And interestingly, in Australia and New Zealand, it's both the standard PS5 and the digital edition getting a price hike. Starts around April 14th.
Okay, so what's the reasoning? The usual suspects?
Pretty much. Sony's pointing to the challenging economic climate, high inflation, currencies bouncing around.
Yeah.
The works.
Makes sense, I guess. We're seeing that everywhere.
But here's a little wrinkle. In those same places where the consoles are getting more expensive, the price of the separate PS5 disk drive is actually coming down.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So not the PS5 Pro, though. Its price is staying put.
Correct. The Pro RRP isn't changing.
So what's the play here? Trying to balance things out, maybe make the standard console plus a cheaper drive look more appealing in some regions?
Could be. Or maybe just managing inventory, different cost factors for different components. It definitely highlights how complex pricing strategy gets with global economics in the mix.
Yeah, you wonder how much it'll sway buyers, right? Will people in the UK just skip the digital now? Or will more Aussies buy the drive separately?
We'll have to wait and see how the market reacts.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to watch these shifts.
Okay, shifting to game specifics. Monster Hunter Wilds. Even before it's out, Capcom's going hard after cheaters.
Yeah, especially on PC, it seems. They're seeing these hacked quests popping up, giving out way too many rewards.
And the warning they issued was pretty serious.
It was. They're saying that if you participate in one of these hacked quests, even if you didn't know it was hacked, it could actually make your game unplayable, like corrupt your save file or something.
Wow, okay. That's a heavy warning. Don't even accidentally join the wrong quest.
Exactly. It shows how seriously they're taking it, and frankly, how disruptive cheating can be, even potentially breaking the game for legitimate players.
So are they just Warning people or doing more?
They say they're planning more countermeasures in future updates, and they're really pushing players to report anyone they suspect of cheating.
Good. You need that community policing aspect, too. Keeps things fair, which is crucial for online games.
Definitely. Okay, now for something completely different. A blast from the past.
Oh, yeah, the Lost Mario game. This is cool.
Super cool. Found by a Nintendo fan. Right? Screenshots for an unreleased Mario game on the Virtual Boy.
In old AOL file libraries. That's like digital archaeology. 30 years later.
I know. And the game itself looks, well, weird. Potentially called Mario Smash.
Screenshots showed these huge Wario heads floating around in a platformer section. Looked kind of creepy, honestly.
Yeah, and there was apparently a top-down bit too. Almost looked like Zelda.
For the Virtual Boy. That console was such a strange chapter for Nintendo. Seeing this lost game is fascinating. Makes you wonder what else got canned.
It really does. It's a tiny window into their design thinking back then on a platform that just didn't take off. A real what could have been moment.
Absolutely. Okay, let's jump forward to something definitely not canceled, Mario Kart World.
Right. The recent Nintendo Direct gave us a lot more detail. It's expected this summer, right?
Looks like it. And Rainbow Road is confirmed. But
there's always a but with Rainbow Road.
You have to unlock it by beating all the Grand Prix Cups first. So get practicing.
Okay, fair enough. Earn your Rainbow Road stripes. What else? New tracks.
Yep, brand new ones like Starview Peak and Boo Cinema. Sounds cool. Plus returning fan favorites, Toad's Factory, Peach Beach, Wario's Galleon.
Oh, Toad's Factory. Nice. Any new razors?
This is where it gets fun. Cow, Spike, and Goomba.
Wait, cow? Like just a cow?
Apparently. And Goomba finally gets behind the wheel? Plus a new item, Comic.
The Magic Koopa, what does it do?
It transforms other racers into charging chucks. And they hinted it might have other effects too. Could be chaotic.
Sounds like classic Mario Kart chaos. Love it.
But there's more that sounds different. A free roam mode.
Yeah, that caught my eye too. With hundreds of missions, they said. Photo ops, exploring.
And new moves. Charge jump for dodging and wall riding, and something called rewind.
Yeah, the rewind only affects you, apparently. So you can fix your own screw-up without, like, messing up the whole race for everyone else, which is interesting.
And dash food pit stops for boosts and unlocking outfits. This sounds like a pretty big departure, almost like an open-world Mario Kart Lite.
It really does. That free roam mode especially. It feels like maybe they're expanding the scope significantly. Could be a huge title for whatever Nintendo's planning next, hardware-wise.
Definitely one to watch. Okay, moving over to Marvel. Swimsuit skins.
Yep. Marvel announced the return of their swimsuit special comic series. You know, the ones from the 90s.
Oh, I remember those.
Very great.
Of their time.
Exactly. And alongside that, they revealed that Marvel Rivals, their free-to-play shooter, is getting swimsuit-themed skins.
Huh. For which characters? Everyone?
The announcement implied it would be in the spirit of the comics, which kind of equally objectified heroes and villains, so maybe a fair few. They're expected around July, probably lining up with a comic release and maybe Season 3 of the game.
Well, it's certainly a cosmetic choice. I guess it leans into the fan service aspect.
Seems like it. A bit of lighthearted, maybe slightly cheesy, fun for the players. It'll be interesting to see the reaction.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, quick hit. Among Us 3D. We have a date.
We do. May 6th, coming to PC via Steam. Intersloth and Shell Games announced it very enthusiastically, apparently.
So same game, just 3D. Run around the Skeld in 3 dimensions.
That's the pitch. All the social deduction, task doing, backstabbing, fun, but with an extra dimension.
Could change how you sneak around, I suppose. Might be easier or harder to spot imposters.
That's the question, right? Does the perspective shift actually change the meta? We'll find out soon on PC.
Cool. All right, let's look at some franchise updates. Frostpunk.
Yeah, 11-Bit Studios confirmed they're working on the next project set in the Frostpunk universe.
After Frostpunk 2 had that kind of mixed reaction.
Seems so. They acknowledged the mixed reception, but they clearly still believe in the IP. The CEO had hinted at it before, but now it's official, aiming for maybe 2027.
So sticking with the grim, frozen future, are they doing anything else?
They also mentioned they're working on a totally new, unannounced IP as well. So balancing the familiar with something fresh.
Good strategy. Okay, Star Wars news next. What's happening in that galaxy?
Few things. First, Star Wars Outlaws is getting its next story update on May 15th, 2025, called A Pirate's Fortune.
A Pirate's Fortune. Sounds like Hondo Onaka might be involved.
Bingo! He's back. It's free for Season Pass holders, or you can buy it separately. Also includes some Skeleton Crew-inspired cosmetics for everyone.
Nice. What else?
EA officially pulled the curtain back on Star Wars. Zero Company. This is a single-player, turn-based tactics game from Bit Reactor and Respawn.
Ah, yeah, I remember hearing whispers about this, set during the Clone Wars.
Yep, towards the end, you command a customizable squad. It's supposed to be a gritty and authentic story, planned for 2026 on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series XS.
Turn-based Star Wars tactics. Could be really cool if they nail it.
Agreed. And one more Star Wars-related bit, kind of tangentially.
Oh, on?
Xbox revealed some limited edition Doom. The Dark Ages accessories.
Doom! How's that Star Wars?
Oh, wait, sorry, my mistake there. Got my wires crossed reading my notes. It's just Doom accessories, not Star Wars. My bad.
Ah, okay. Makes more sense. So, Doom accessories.
Yeah, wireless controller and an Xbox Series X console wrap with designs inspired by Doom, The Dark Ages. The controller comes with DLC. Doom itself launches May 15th for PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC.
Gotcha. Doom stuff, not Star Wars stuff. Makes sense.
Right. And finally, let's wrap up with Xbox Game Pass.
Always adding more stuff. What's coming?
April and early May are pretty stacked. Claire Obscure. Expedition 33 on April 24th, Towerborn, which is game preview, on the 29th, Far Cry 4 on the 30th.
Far Cry 4, solid edition.
Anno 1-800 and Call of Duty. Modern Warfare 2, both on May 1st, and then Dredge on May 6th.
Wow. Yeah, that's a decent haul. COD MWI is a big one.
Definitely. And another cool thing for Ultimate subscribers, game streaming for own games.
Oh, the feature they were testing.
Yeah.
Where you don't have to install.
Exactly. That's rolling out now for select owned games on Xbox consoles. Plus, they're making improvements to storage management, game hubs, and updating the mobile app for in-app purchases and perks.
So constantly tweaking and adding value to the Game Pass ecosystem.
Pretty much sums it up. Lots of movement across the board in gaming right now.
No kidding. And that, I think, wraps up our rundown for this week. We went from movie directors getting candid to swimsuit skins to Frostpunk's future. Quite the journey. Covered a lot of ground.
Hopefully something in there caught your ear. What do you all think about Roth's take on Borderlands? Does a bad movie make you more curious about the game?
And that Minecraft incident, just chilling. How about the PS5 prices? Does that change anyone's plans?
Yeah, let us know your thoughts on all of it. What stood out? What are you looking forward to?
We'll be back next week with more.
Until then, keep gaming.